Hello and welcome everybody back to the stream. I'm your Sim CFI. I hope everyone's doing well. Today we're going to be in a baby bus, the Fslabs A321 Neo. This airplane was given to me by Fslabs to showcase to you guys and review. So I hope you guys enjoy this. Before we get going, we are in Boston at Fly Tampa's Boston. We'll be taking this airplane from Boston over to Charlotte. So I hope everybody will enjoy the flight over to Charlotte. I am on VATSIM. I'm getting a million aircraft model matching issues, it seems like. So something's not working on that. But other than that, other than the usual problems I've been having with model matching and all that kind of stuff, we should be good to go. Let me see if I can quickly add a customs rules for this thing to find. I think I might know. Oh no, it's right there. Rules apply. Okay, there we go. Anyways, I want to thank you to the channel partners. So Winwing is a brand new partner. I really appreciate you being a partner of the channel. We're using your MCDU right here. Okay, I'm going to disconnect from VATSIM for the time being because I don't want to listen to that guy. Anyways, we're using the Winwing MCDU here, and this has, it's just built, I just plugged it in place and it just works. I'm using the Winwing MCDU that I'll pan up here. You guys can see it right there. Plus the PU Air Korea lighting panel, the minimized overhead panel. I don't have this map just yet, but we'll be using the FCU, the EPISs, and the MCDU from Winwing. That's a lot of shortcuts and mouthfuls there. I don't have an Airbus throttle set, so down here I'm using the CRJ ProDesk Sim throttle kit. I have a coupon code down below if you want to get one of yourselves one of those as well. And lastly, Contrail. I really appreciate Contrail becoming a partner of the stream, and if you buy anything on the Contrail website, you'll get 10% off with my code down below. So we'll say hi to the folks in chat. We got Fires, who's in the horizontal stream. We're streaming on 2 streams today, horizontal and vertical. Really appreciate Fires you stopping in. Data as well. Searching here for the vertical stream. Awesome, sweet, sweet. Flight Sim Gaming in the vertical stream says, "Holy smokes, not an RJ looking forward." He forgets we flew the not the CRJ. He forgets we flew the 727 not too long ago, and we also flew the what's it called? 777. We did that one on one of our streams. Oh good, you're on now. Yeah, we're on now. It was trying to get this thing set up, took me a bit, and I've had some problems with starting the cinema up, but we're all inside, and this is the Fslabs A321 Neo. Very I'm sure I can't even speak right now, but an airplane that people want to compare to Phoenix. Controversial, there's the word I'm looking for. I'm not a 321 pilot. I fly the CRJ 900. But from what I can see system-wise, just from that little bit of startup that I did earlier, I've never actually flown this plane yet, other than a landing, but I've never taken it anywhere in a full flight. But system-wise, this airplane is quite in-depth, including circuit breakers and MELs and all sorts of stuff you can do on it. And MEL stands for Minimum Equipment List. Basically, something's broken on the airplane, but it's legal to fly it. And in real life, we get MELs all day, every day. Not everything works all the time like it does in the sim. So that's a really, really cool feature to see. So we're going to jump into the flight deck here, and instantly people say the graphics aren't as good. They look good enough to me. They're not going to be Phoenix quality, but it's a brand new product, guys. Fslabs has been around for a long time, and I'm sure they're going to be around for a much longer time. So it's still looking pretty good. Skymaster, welcome, welcome. Thanks for stopping by. My tech review, missed you at the expo. Yeah, I did miss you. We'll have to get you in the next one. I'll be there at Minneapolis, so we'll hopefully see you there. That message hurts. Which message? I took the CRJ out for a test flight. Feels like, and looks amazing. Awesome, man. I appreciate that. Hope you're enjoying it. Are you captain on 321 with American? No, I'm not. We're actually be flying from this side. But anyways, we'll start to get this thing all set up to go. I've tried to get my performance as good as I can possibly get it, but 2024 in general has been giving me problems lately with the latest NVIDIA driver. So you'll have to bear with me on that. I might have to switch to dynamic settings as we go on here. But yeah, I mean, it's an Airbus, right? It does Airbus stuff. So we'll get going here. and we'll get started. So we'll throw our IRS all in the nav position. And in this airplane, you're going to want to make sure you do check your circuit breakers. These are all clickable, and they do affect your system. So you're going to want to make sure that all the circuit breakers are pushed in. Nothing is punched out, as that could technically affect your flight there. Everything else down here, what we got, the nav lights are already on. I gotta reverse all the things in Airbus are reverse, so I have to reverse myself here. This is, everything's fine. I like that, basically if it's lit up, then it's a problem. Do an APU fire test. That all works. Fuel pumps are all off. Batteries are on. External power is connected. We can just set the cockpit, all the temperatures to the center position there, as I'm pretty sure everything is automatic. Everything's basically deselected and where it needs to be. The emergency lights are armed. The no smoking sign is in. Throw that on. Seatbelts are off for the time being. All the lighting is set to the way we want it for the time being as well. And everything on the right side looks fine. So why don't we go down to the FMCGS MCDU CDU. Are you using a third-party Charlotte Airport? I am. I'm using Flight Beam, I believe. I believe it's Flight Beams. Is the PU MCDU good? This is the Winwing one, but the CRJ one I have for PU Air Korea is absolutely amazing. These are both good. Winwing and PU Air Korea are both amazing. Winwing has a slightly better competitive price. However, the Winwing has mushier buttons, so the PU Air Korea has much more realistic buttons to me, but it's a bit more expensive. The good thing is in PU Air Korea that you can hot swap the faceplates. So once you buy the CDU and it comes with a faceplate, you can buy multiple faceplates and you just hot swap with any plane you want, and it's really cool. That's kind of the rundown for that. I said you're a 321 captain or 321 captain on the 321. No, I'm not. Are you using a third-party Charlotte Airport? I read that one. Do you trust Fslabs after what happened in 2018? Yes, I do. What happened in 2018 was they wanted to track people from downloading their airplanes illegally through pirating, and they weren't supposed to do that, but they did do that. So I'm sure it's all fine. That was a weird little sound glitch there. Hopefully I'll be there. Just finished a flight on CRJ. I keep forgetting that I got my Bravo reversers detense bind with SPAD for the engine throttle on turn off. Turn the engines off when landed. Yeah, it's weird to bind the reversers because a lot of handles are not axes. They're like buttons where it just activates the reverse, which is kind of weird. But anyways, Captain Jackson's looking forward to having more time to learn how to fly this aircraft with all your instructions. Oh, well, I appreciate that, and you might like. I think you'll like the Fslabs, Jack. I think you'll actually like it. Yeah, no worries, Scammaster. So we'll get started here. We're going to click the active menu, and I'm controlling the right-hand FMS. We'll click the AOC in it. We'll get our... we'll press the init data request. It pulls the call sign. It pulls the departure, the destination, fuel on board, and estimated time en route. And even pulls the GMT time. We're going to go to get our ATIS. This is kind of what we do in real life. Let's actually go back here. Departure ATIS. Just press that. And we'll press fuel. Should automatically sync everything. Oh, my FMS is kind of moving. Let me stabilize that a little bit more here. There we go. That's pretty good. OFP data. That's kind of moving now. We can send that off. SCD has expired. What's the time? We'll do 22:55. Send that off. Awesome. We'll press weather ATIS. And Boston. Whoops, don't need that. That's kind of cool. I want the departure ATIS though. Send for that. Although I think I did that by clicking this button. Receive messages. Boston ATIS. Let me show you a bit better here. Sorry, I wasn't showing you. It says print. I wonder where this prints. Does it actually print? So it doesn't actually print at the printer, but I imagine if you had a printer hooked up to this, you could actually use that, which would be kind of cool, actually. From what I heard, this plane doesn't model any wing flex. Is that correct? Dude, I have no idea, nor do I care. I'm sorry to be that blunt, but I know a lot of simmers care about the visual stuff. I want, you know, I want systems, and I want flight model, and that's kind of all I really care about, to be honest with you. These airplanes, when you fly on them, they don't flex all that much. If the wing is flexing on a 321, you're either landing really hard, or you're going through some turbulence that you don't want to be going through. They don't flex all that much, not like an 8.7. But I couldn't tell you. I'm not sure. I'm probably the last person to know about wing flex on an airplane, just to let you know. But I appreciate your comment. Appreciate you being here. I just I get that one a lot, and that's, to me, it's useless information. I just like systems, what's behind the aircraft and the flight model, all that other external stuff and sounds, and that can all get fixed up later on, in my opinion. It's been a long day of eating on the Queen's Quay. What'd you get? Would you get a California sandwich? Do the SSD, then click on it. We'll enter it. It's a predicted time, no? For departure time? Oh, that isn't a delete button. That's a clear button. 23:12. I think that's a predicted time. I just put my own. That's what we do in the RJ. No influx. It does print to printer in the Phoenix. You need to add a printer in the settings. Yeah, I don't have them. The 3.7 moves a lot, so I'd imagine 321 does as well. It doesn't. You can watch videos on it. They don't move all that much. It does, but you got it? Cool. Yeah. Yeah, it's just departure time stuff. All that stuff's whatever. Anyways, it throws the flight plan in there for you. We got Boston, Charlotte. Call signs American 1448. This is a real flight. Costing us 7, flight level 340. And you can just click that. It'll enter that in for you. Don't have to work. These guys get paid for nothing. A block of 5.2. That's in kilograms, I believe. Although that says gross weight of pounds. So something tells me I haven't been loaded yet. So we're going to go ahead and go over here. Oh. Got the sim froze. There we go. Hey, 5 Snipes. Welcome, welcome. Zoom in on this guy. We got some ACARS messages, but those can be found in the in that thing as well. Mass balance. I should mention I've never flown this plane yet, so we're just gonna fly this one together. Let's see. Go over here. I'd like to pull up my OFP. If I can, that is. I think if I do this and this and that and this and this and there. I don't know if that's the way it's supposed to do it, but that works for me, so I'm gonna do it. So we need a tank. We need a plan ramp of 16,000 pounds. Notice your favorite changes once the plane is fully boarded, just FYI. Cool. Yeah, that's kind of like in real life as well. These are all, that's what I've been trying to mention on my stream for a long time, and people, that when you look at the OFP, that's all predicted weight. So it all changes once people actually board the airplane. You can see we're actually currently increasing in weight right now. Actually, we are increasing in weight. So they're loading us up with fuel. They're kind of doing all that. I kind of wish I can do this. There's probably an instant mode somewhere that I don't know about, but we'll get back to that. We'll take a look at the flight plan again. We'll press Boston. We'll press departure. And we'll be taking the PAT 7 departure. By the way, guys, I'll show you this on the next one. Actually, keep that in mind. I'll have that in a second. Let's go back here. Atsu, AOC. Let's bring the weather back up. Not that one. Receive messages. Weather. ATIS 283007. Just press the B button. Doesn't work. Uh-oh, that's a problem. The B button doesn't work. I don't like the airplane, so I hate doing this manually. Good thing I have the Winwing FCU, so or the EFISes, so I can just do those quickly on my own. It's hot. 27 is departures 22 right. Runway 27 is approved for turn off readback. So we're playing 22 right for departure. So we'll go down here. 22 right, and we're on the PAT 7. Insert that. Charlotte arrival. So this is what I was talking about, guys. You probably know this. If you don't, then here it is. I don't know about the Airbus, but in real life we don't enter in approaches At least for the RJ, unless we're really close to our destination, because in real life you can't just plug and approach. You have to brief it with the other person. You have to brief all the waypoints and all that kind of stuff. So there's no point to do that on the ground when you can do it when you do it in the air. Plus, once you fly by the time you get to your destination, the weather may have changed. So it's just better to do it in the air. But anyways, you can click the right arrow and it brings you to the stars. A lot of people think you got to pick an approach. You don't. You just press the right arrow and you get the stars there. So we're doing the Chelsea 6. I guess it's Chelsea 5 because I'm not up to date. That's fine. And that will be via Arrow. Well, I don't have that. Let's check the flight plan real quick. This one, this one. No, it's clicking everywhere. Yeah, via Arrow. I guess because I'm not up to date, I don't have the Arrow transition, so that's not good. I probably should have updated this, but that's fine. Maybe it's just not a transition. Let me check on the star. No, it definitely is a transition. I just don't have it. So we're flying out of date. In that case, I'm not going to fly this on VATSIM. Maybe I should, but I can't because I just don't have it. We're going to take it in from Coupon. That's basically the same for us, so that'll work. We'll throw that in there. Unless it needs an approach later on, but we'll figure that out later as we go. OFP data you can change to instant. Okay, cool. Where do I do that one? And elite us fly the 319, bro? No, I'm flying the Fslabs. You're really about that 319, eh? You like that thing. We'll go to perf. I'm gonna enter the perf stuff once we're fueled. We're still waiting on that. You can see we're just taking in fuel still. So while we're waiting for that, we can go ahead and set our FCP up. Getting a little bit of lag, that's okay. The PAT 7. It is Chichu right, a heading of 215. We went the other way. Okay, that's going to take forever. Holy. I'll do it with the mouse, maybe. Yeah, this takes so long. Carpal tunnel. Dun, 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 dun. 215. Alrighty. And up to 5,000 feet for the jets, so we'll throw 5,000 feet. There's no clearance. There's no one here. So we're good on that. We'll leave the speed all blanked out. We'll leave everything else pretty good. I like to have constraints personally, so I'm going to click constraints on both sides. So I like to see my altitude crossings and all that good stuff. We're pretty close to push once we're fueled up. We're not allowed to start the APU while we're fueling, so we'll just wait for that. We'll check at the vertical stream. It looks like, what does the B button supposed to do? Jack, the B button is supposed to set your altimeter automatically. By the way, Jack, if you want, we have 2 streams running right now. So if you want to have the horizontal stream, that's also live currently as well. So you don't have to be forced to watch it at vertical if you don't want to. Just to let you know. If there's a way to sync weather, that would be really nice. Oh, I think it already did. Okay, cool. Flex, yeah. That's fine. NTS is off. Condition will be on. It's dry. It's planning for a takeoff weight of 176.8, and that's obviously under 76,000 pounds. I wonder what that yellow... Oh, I think that's when I can type on it. There should be a way to change my runway. There we go. 22 right. As I said, guys, I'm just figuring this out as I go. And we'll press calculate, hopefully. There we go. VO1, we got a range of 139 and 144. VR 144, V2 146, acceleration altitude of 1015. So I'm gonna just plug this into my, I'll plug it in over here. So we'll do 140, 144, 146. The acceleration altitude is going to be 1015. So it kind of already did it for me there. And it's going to be a max takeoff. That's fine. Stab turn of 3.3 down. A flex of 44. And then I guess the config 2 is flap 2, but I'm not sure about that. We'll find out in a second. I'm sure someone will yell at me. And that is basically about it. Headwind, don't care. Green dot's 230. Yeah, we should be pretty good to go. You guys let me know. EFP auto syncs weather, that's pretty sweet. Yeah, hey, simple takeoff. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Hope you're doing well, my friend. Identifier column, I believe, changes takeoff data depending on the full length or specific entry points on the runway. Let's go back. Yeah, I thought I had to select a runway because it didn't have anyone selected, so I just selected runway full length. Takeoff runway available is 2397. That doesn't seem right, unless that's in meters. That might be in meters, guys. But anyways, that should be pretty good, pretty close enough. Close enough for the for what I do here. That's all good. So pretty much our FMS is basically set and ready to go. I'm gonna click these again to see if that's changed. Nope, that's still the same. There we go. There's the right fuel. 16,000 in there. So that's all good. I think we're finished on the refueling, so we can go ahead and start the APU now. So we're gonna come down here and press the master switch. Omega 38K, welcome. Howdy all. My VRM is maxed out to 16 with Fslabs Neo. Anyone know how to reduce it? I don't actually. I'm not getting the best performance in the world, but I'm not getting the worst performance in the world either. But the master switch is on. The flap is open. We can go and press the start button. And I'll give you guys some sounds outside if you want to hear that stuff. Don't worry about these guys. Kind of hear it a little bit. If your company gave you an Airbus promotion, would you take it? Yeah, it's more money. You always take whatever's more money, kids. No, I wouldn't mind narrow body. I think the biggest, like, longest flying I would want to do is 321 flying. I don't think I would like long haul flying personally. I love the airplanes, but I just don't think I'd like being in a plane for that long. But a 320, maybe an 87 will give you 87 goes a bit farther, but give you a nice mix between long haul and medium haul type stuff. So the APU is started, and you can see it's available. So we can go ahead and disconnect our ground power there. We can throw the APU bleed on, so all the air is coming from the APU now. We'll go ahead and throw on our fuel pumps. Bit of lag, don't worry about that. Let's go ahead and just kind of do a very quick little brief here of what's going to happen. Again, we're off VATSIM, guys, because I'm not up to date, and I believe you need to be up to date to play VATSIM. So we ain't gonna do that. I'm gonna close VPilot. Plus, my traffic was bugging out anyways. Let's do this. I'll make this a little bigger. You guys can see we're doing the Pat 7 departure. We got a speed restriction, which is that's only run 15. We're not doing that. Runway 22 right. Runway heading at 215 to intercept outbound, or 142 to cross TJ at above 1200 and at 8 below 210 knots on depicted route to Pats. 5,000 feet. We'll expect higher after 10 minutes. It's a pretty simple departure, to be honest. Takeoff obstacles for 22 right. They do have one standard, so minimum climb gradient of 500 per nautical mile. That requires, if we're going roughly 250, 2,000 feet a minute, we should be able to do that on one engine as well. FSAT performance is pretty high at the moment. I believe it's been noted by the devs. Yeah, they're probably going to do some work on optimization. It's actually not that bad. I mean, I have a 4080, but it's still not completely terrible. I've had much worse airplanes, but it's obviously could be better. But you know, double check weights in MC before departure. They may have not updated. All right, we'll do that. I'm sure it's not a big deal. It's an Airbus. And the other thing in real life, when you have these quote weights, it's all predicted weights, right? When someone gets on the airplane, they may weigh 400 pounds, but we click them as an adult, which is 190 or whatever it is, right? So our weights are not even in real life on the airliners, they're not 100% accurate, but there's just so much fudge factor built in. that it all kind of works out. The 0 fuel weight is still 107. 16 for the block, puts us at a takeoff estimated weight of 123 and an estimated landing weight of 15.7 depending on stuff. And we got an extra 5.1, so that's actually a pretty good amount of fuel, and it should be still good to go. We'll put that back on the flight plan page there. I'm gonna call for the GSX pusher. On a remote control. Oh yeah, we gotta do it through this thing, don't we? All right, let's figure out how to do that now. It's probably no. Where would I put GSX? No. Documents, takeoff, tech log failures, landing connections. Probably that one. Request pushback. We can take off the GPU, we can take off the air, we can take off the chocks. We are ready to push. Mike about to go live? Sweet. Yeah, he's in the RJ, right? Hope he likes it. Closed door went L as well. Bro, I'm on the Airbuses and you prob make more than me. I don't know about that, my friend. Are you in the States? Are you in Europe? If you're in the States, you guarantee make more than me. And in Europe probably as well, actually. I like that you can pull the ADIS up here and you can also pull it up in the FMS. That's a really cool feature. I do like that a lot. He needs to fly 319. Everyone needs to fly 319 for you. Let's see. GSX should be getting connected here shortly. I hope. Oh wait, did I not press it? Connections. That's all closed. Let's see where I would put that. Didn't I just see it? I thought I just saw it like 2 seconds ago. I'm in America. You're guaranteed making more than I do. Parking brake is set. I'm not really understanding why GSX won't connect. I'm about to shift P out of here. And I know I'm doing something wrong, but I just can't be bothered right now. I come home from work to just fly fake airplanes for funsies. What does that do? Oh. Message. I like that. What does it say? That's awesome. It gives you a little message. There's a departure ADIS. That's pretty sweet. I like that. That is pretty cool. Is there like a next page to this, or I don't know why GSX won't connect and push me back here. Push back, customize. Okay, prepare for pushback. Did you work today? No, I didn't. Today I'm off. Tomorrow I'm off. Then I got my sim on Monday. I don't want to do that. All right, we're shift peeing. I'm done with that. Okay, never mind. I guess now they're pulling the bridge. All right. We'll go ahead and armor spoiler. Go ahead and set our auto brakes to max. I think we have to do it actually after. Do these work? No. I got it. Sweet. Hit services in the EFB or services. Documents, takeoff, landing, ACARS, maintenance, navigraph, mass balance, checklist, briefings, connections. I have connections. I don't know where services is though. It seems like it did something. We have a fire protection active already. Last smoke detect fault. Alright, well, we'd have to technically hold our push. Where's the MEL? Let's throw the parking brake back on real quick. MEL and MEL items. I kind of wish I could see what that was called again, because I just had it in the memory banks. Flav smoke detect. No, you can leave it there. Documents. Let's see here. Air conditioning, communications, electrical equipment, furnishing, fire protection. Oh, this is gonna take forever. Usually they have an MEL number associated. Maintenance gives it to you. Oh wait, I can search up. Lab smoke. Smoke. Clear failures and MCDU you do sometimes spawn with failed systems. Who's smoking in the lab? Yeah. Well, I don't want to clear failure. This is real life, right? One match. I kind of wish this thing wasn't here. I can move that away. It might not have any. It might not be MELable. Hello, yes. Hello, Captain. We had a lab smoke go off. Yeah, it's probably just not an MELable item. They'd have to come and fix that. Laboratory smoke detection system. There it is. All right, cool. Flight attendants must check every 15 minutes. The absence of a smoke is associated with laboratory. Okay, I'd like to get rid of... I'd like to, like, read more of this. Can I not... Can I get rid of this? There we go. That's all it has for me. Laboratory smoke detection system. It's MEL 261701 alpha. General information. This is written different than the MELs we use real world. But basically, this is all I can find from it. The flight attendants have to check the lab every 15 minutes because basically what's happening is the laboratory smoke detector does not work. So they have to go back there and check. So we are still legal to fly with that failure. That's how the MEL is used in a sense. So we'll leave that going. In real world, at least in my company, it would say how many lab smoke detectors are equipped, if it's a forward or aft, how many you're allowed to go with, how long it can go without being fixed, and a little bit of a pilot procedure to do. So basically all I can find in there is the procedure is the flight attendants have to check every 15 minutes. So we'll go ahead and release the brakes. That's an MEL. You can look up MEL online. It stands for minimum equipment list. Anything that fails will show up in the, hopefully, we'll be able to get deferred and have an MEL number associated to it. So I hopefully can tell my people here to let's continue the pushback here. GSX need to park and brake. Oh, all right, well. Can't really set that anymore. There we go. GSX. Who's smoking in the left? Smoking in the boys' room. Continue pushback. Turn off the parking brake. We're gonna go nose to the right. I don't know if I like this whole tablet GSX thing. I did release the parking brake. Can you just push me now? Alrighty. So the beacon light would go on as well. Smoking or seatbelt sign would have been on as well. We're all figuring it out together, guys. Yeah, the MEL stuff is cool though. It maintenance might have had to actually come here and pull the breaker for that, depending on if it's just your regular smoke alarm like you have in your house, which the CRJ literally has just smoke alarms like you have in your house in the lavatories. Then it won't have a breaker. It's just probably the battery failed or something like that, right? All right, let's go ahead and start her up. Usually the ground crew guys will let us start up engines once we're on a straightaway and they're not turning us. So we're actually going to wait on that a little bit here. You see the N1 fans just spinning in the wind there, which is pretty cool. Lonnie, if you're still here, the reason I don't stream any other sim is look at these. What the heck is happening right there? What? All right, don't worry about him. You can see the viewer count, man. RJ streams get so much more views because the RJ is the best plane in the sim. All right, jump back inside. We'll set our parking brake and we're going to start number 2. We'll put the engines mode selector to start. You hear the packs, they should cut off a little bit. And we'll select number 2. Maybe. There we go. That was a weird sound. How the Boris sound pack for the CRJ just got 7371 and I'm addicted. The CRJ sounds are awesome with Boris. They're really, really good. Kind of interesting sounds. It kind of sounds confused when it's starting up, but hey, see if I considering getting the FMC that you have for the CRJ, would you mind sharing the pros/cons of it? I'll start with the cons. The cons of the PU Air Korea is it requires an HDMI slot. So if you don't have an available HDMI slot available to you, you have to get one because it won't work. In that being said, there is a possibility with the new HDMI cable that it's going to be used more performance from your PC. It doesn't really impact it all that much, but there is the potential for that. And then last con is it requires 2 cables, one for the USB-C and one for the actual HDMI. So that's kind of the cons. The pros are you buy the CDU and it comes with a faceplate. And then from there on, you can buy any faceplate and put them on, and you have a million different FMSs without having to physically take the entire thing away and change your cords and all this. Keep it all plugged in, just replace the faceplate, and you're good to go. This is the Winwing one, by the way, though. The other thing of the pro of that is Winwing has a USB-C, and this is a screen that you can only use for flight sim and FMSs that have been set up for it. The Winwing one is an actual separate monitor as it uses an HDMI. You could play YouTube in your FMC over there and it'll play. But that also means that any screen, any FMS that's pop-outable, you can put in there with any faceplate you want. So just because you don't have Airbus faceplate doesn't mean you can't use the Airbus. You can use it with any faceplate you buy. Anything that you can pop out, you can put in this window, which is kind of cool. Anyways, the engines are both started. We'll go back to the position there. We'll set our auto brakes to the max position. We'll go ahead and set flap 2 for takeoff. We'll go ahead and arm the spoilers. We'll go ahead and take the APU bleed off. The master can come off. The taxi can go on. We'll be sure to taxi here shortly. And they probably do a rudder check at this point as well, but I ain't going to do that. And we're all pretty much good to go. It's an Airbus, so it kind of does everything for you for the most part. Let's get this stuff on. There we go. And we're not on VATSIM, but we're squawking 2000. And I actually should have been on already in the push. So anyways, we're good to go. We'll throw the parking brake off. And let's see if this airplane starts to roll in its own power. I'm not sure if it does or not. It says the spoiler's not armed, but I'm pretty sure. Huh. Oh, okay, there we go. I guess my button doesn't work for it. And the takeoff config test is okay, all normal. What do you want? Pitch, trim, misconfig. Oh, see? Thank you, Airbus, for babying me. We need a 0.3, and we can find that on the flight control page. RJ would not do that to you. The RJ would say, "You want to take off with the wrong trim? Be my guest, my friend. Have fun flying me." All right. Let's go ahead and power up a little bit. I'm loving this airplane so far. And we're gonna lock my rudder pedals so I can steer on the ground. No worries, Davis. Thanks for asking. Simple, the modular design that allows for quick swap with the faceplate is very cool feature. Yeah, I love it. Oh, Davis, if you're still here, the other real big pro that I love about the PU Air Korea FMS is the keyboard. The keyboard feels very good. Much more closer to a real FMS, in my opinion. Okay, we're not steering anywhere. We're gonna throw this on. I think my rudder isn't turning us. Yeah, so let me quickly do this. Usual settings, controls. It's kind of annoying in 24. If you change your livery, it like changes your controls. So let me just go make sure the rudder's... Oh my gosh, finally. It takes a long to load. I've heard in Sim Update 3, if you have Sim Update 3, you're allowed to completely install 2024 onto your drive, and this is apparently a lot faster to install. That should be good to go now. There we go, now it works. And we'll taxi away from the grass here. Need about 40% thrust, kind of broken at the moment. Oh, still not taxiing. I wonder if it's because of this. Go over here. I thought I had it set to the rudder does it. I thought I had it set to the rudder does the turning for me. I have to hold that down. There has to be a way to get that to hold, right? Let me know if there's a way to just keep that button pressed in, or else I can't steer this thing. It's probably in the settings somewhere. Actually, you know what? I think I do know where it is. We're going to come to a stop here. It's a good thing I'm not in VATSIM. We're going to throw the parking brake on. We're going to go right here. Options. I think I found it earlier somewhere in here. Next page. Next page. Controls. Rudder pedals. Pedals, control nozzle steering on. Pedals, disconnect battery stick. I don't know what that is. So it should do it. It should do it. Go to water? Yeah. Yeah, you can see it doesn't do it still. I press off. Pedals work in tandem with steering tiller access. Oh, there we go. Now I can, now it clicks and stays down. All right, I don't know. We'll leave that there. And then turn to stick on. Thanks, Fritz. Yeah, I was kind of... Oh, I just noticed the screen is still on your way here. Get rid of that. Sorry about it. You guys should have told me that. I have no idea where I'm taxing. 2 rights, there's a sign for it. We gotta go left because we would have been taken off that way. So that's worked out pretty good for us. Nothing to see here, folks. I promise I kind of know what I'm doing. We got a company message. The TCAS is set to standby. Let's go ahead and oh no, I'm clicking where the RJ1 is. That one there. Receive messages. Just click all this so we can get rid of it. Whoop. Notification. There's our off block time. There's the delay. Taxi time 17 minutes. Nah, we'll be quicker than that. We'll be fine. Back to flight plan page. Thanks for everybody who helped me in the comments there. Appreciate you guys all stopping in and joining. By the way, guys, I'm using the Winwing Orion rudder pedals, and I'm using the a Virpil Mongoose stick on top of a Virpil Warbird base. So we're gonna taxi all the way down here. We're on Bravo. We're gonna take a right turn November, and we're gonna continue going. I'm just gonna add a little bit of break. 60 USD, 100-ish Canadian. Oh, that's for simple takeoff. Yeah. No, guys. I mean, if you like if you're an Airbus flyer in this sim, this is an airplane you'll like. You just saw I work through an MEL with an AFLAV with a lavatory smoke detector. Like, if you want to dive into like the systems and what real pilots deal with on a day-to-day with things breaking all the time that are kind of minor things breaking, but it affects your flight a little bit. That's what this can allow you to do. Everyone's been saying the systems are super in-depth. I'm not qualified to know if that's true or not in this airplane. I'll take people's words for it, I guess. But from what I can tell, I don't know if the Phoenix has MEL stuff. It might, but with the circuit breakers all being modeled and all that, I find that's pretty darn cool. And it's a Neo, guys. This is basically the only Neo you have right now that's a high fidelity Neo. You can wait for the Phoenix. It's up to you guys to do that. But if you want a Neo right now, it's a pretty good option. Distance wise, as per V1 simulations, it's pretty accurate to real world. Never got about the Bose 320 first, probably the base 320. Yeah, I heard V1 said it's pretty accurate as well, so that's why I'm just getting up from there. I can comment on the CRJ. I'm not one of those streamers that never touched an airplane in their life and claim it's realistic. I don't know. I don't fly the 320. I can comment on CRJ stuff because that's what I fly. I can give you an opinion and you know what it probably should do, or what I think it should do based off my years of experience in other airplanes and simulations and stuff like that. But the opinion you can take with whatever amount of weight you want to take it with. That's one of the biggest pet peeves actually I see, is where people online will be like, oh, it's so realistic, it flies so well. It's like, have you ever flown a 777? Like, you don't know what flies really well like means. But anyways, I digress. I'll stop complaining. Never mind, you gotta buy the base 320 first, probably. No, I don't think you do. Simple. I'm pretty sure you can just buy the Neo. That's what CST did. CST is streaming, by the way, guys, now as well in the RJ, and making Mike in the RJ as well. But I'm pretty sure you can just straight up buy the Neo. I'm 99% sure. And just like the RJ, we have detent, so we'll be going click into the flex temp, and we're flexing at 44 today. I'm gonna say it taxis real well. The brakes feel like what I would expect the brakes to feel in an airliner this size. I meant for Phoenix. Oh yeah, maybe, I'm not sure. We're lining it up. Let's go and throw these guys on. We'll throw this on, and we'll throw our TCAS on as well. Whee! I need a tiller, man. I can't wait till Winwing releases their tiller. I have nowhere to put it. Alright, Choo-Choo Right was verified with the sign. The takeoff configuration is normal. We're ready to go. Take a long time to spool these things, eh? There we go. And then we'll do the yeah, my throttles aren't, there we go. The only SOP call that people know is man flex SRS runway blue or whatever, and then you never hear a call from them ever again. This thing is fast. Holy V1 rotate. This thing is really fast. See, that to me tells me it's probably not real in that regard, but I have absolutely no idea. We're gonna go gear up. That's an interesting gear noise. Lever's asymmetric. Come on. I thought I set these a bit better, but anyways, we'll go flap 1. There we go. Just had to wiggle a little bit. Flap 0. I thought it should have steered me onto the course, but I guess we're under vectors at this point, so I'm just going to turn myself. We're just going to go direct J80. We'll execute that, and we're going to go up a little higher as well. And we'll press it into VNAV mode, or managed climb mode. Airbus is pretty easy to fly. It's a little sensitive. I think I might have to go change that. Again, to what I would expect it to be. Wait, if we're just going all the way around, then I'm gonna cut it right. There's no ATC, so I'm just gonna do what I want here. You know, people fly real airplanes when they're completely not bothered to do anything realistic in a sim. And once you've done sim training, you'll understand why. For real world stuff. Alright, we're going through autopilot number 2 on. And I've set 37,000 feet, although I kind of forgot what altitude that was actually set to, or what we were supposed to go to. So we'll go check this again. Sim brief. My flight plan. View. No, dude, simple. That thing was quick. Like, we were already at 100 knots in like 4 seconds. We're up to 34,000 feet. We'll set 34. 10,000. Like, I don't know if this is real or not, but I would suspect this airplane is performing a little too good right now. We are super heavy. Well, not super heavy, but we're pretty decently heavy, and we're getting 3,000 a minute while we're accelerating, passing 11,000 feet. There's the smoke lavatory detect fault. We'll go ahead and clear that. We reviewed the MEL on that procedure, and all the flight attendants have to do is verify that there's no fire every 15 minutes. So let's start a timer for those guys. Oh yeah, this airplane doesn't start a timer for you automatically, does it? The CRJ does. You press this one or something, or run? Yeah, I think it's that one. But we'll reset our timer there. Zero fuel rate matches your briefing, question mark. Where would that be? Mass balance. Ah, he has a point. I'm like, wow, we're really fast. Yeah, we're completely empty. That's okay. We'll keep going. Yeah, it did seem really quick. Yeah, I was like, this is very fast. Check to see if they didn't leave anyone at the gate. Oh, we left everybody at the gate. That's okay. I really don't care. I'm just here to fly the airplane. I don't care about loading it with GSX. So I'm actually probably going to uninstall GSX, to be honest with you guys. I really can't be bothered to have all those desync issues and purple people and lag and all this stuff and updates every 10 seconds just for pushback. I'm just going to use Shift P and I'll load it myself through the iPad. MCDU and load it quickly. I don't even know where that would be. Options. Fuel. No, we have that. No, stop. You go back. Payload. Let's see what the zero fuel weight's supposed to be. Maybe I can just quickly plug it in. A little bit lower. You got a zero fuel weight of 161.1181. 161.8. There we go. There's transition. 992. 1, 2, and 3. OFP data. Yeah, GSX needs to work to make it work correctly. I can't be bothered with it either. Yeah, I hate it. GSX super broken right now. Kind of ridiculous, to be fair. Yeah, I mean, I'm on the verge of uninstalling it, to be honest. OFP data. I think I did it through the FMS, but I'm not sure. I never have GSX issues. Well, not ever, but rarely. I just restart account and it all works. Yeah. I've had GSX for basically since it's come out in FSX, and it's always been a nightmare. Profiles, this, that. it's not worth it. It's just a pushback. I don't care about virtual bags. I don't care about virtual people. Just give me the weight. Let's push and let's go. Where is OFP data, Miss Lonnie? Units, doors, not in there. Not in there. Ooh, sounds. What does that do? GSX voice. I don't know what that is. We'll turn that on. Leave that alone. OFP data in MCDU. Is that in the options page? Because OFP data, I assume, isn't a actual real thing. That's more of a simulator thing they put in here. There we go. We'll just fix that real quick. AOC menu, OFP data. Okay. AOC. OFP data. Clear that, as you said. We'll send that away. And instant. There we go. I think I did it through the FMS though, with the manual, with this, and payload. And I just typed in the maximum there. You can see we've severely severely lost our climb rate. Anyways, we can undo that. Let's do some of our after takeoff stuff here because we got up high quickly. Seatbelts can come off. We're fine on that. We don't need much lighting. We're okay on that. I don't know why everything in the sim is always like the lights are always cranked to the maximum. Don't need any of that lighting on. Just waste the bulbs and stuff behind it. Thanks, Lonnie. Me too. I felt like it was worse in P3D. Oh yeah, 100%. Should be able to load instantly, then hit send. Cool. It's much easier to troubleshoot in MSFS. And it's true. Now go back to the EFB and check the weights quickly. Yeah, I'm sure it's right. I'll check in a second. But if you go here and in it next page, we have the right 0 fuel weight and all that stuff in there. But I'll check the EFB as well. There we go. Pretty close. A little heavier, that's fine. It's pretty normal stuff. In real life, what we get is something called an LDP. So what would happen in real life, we go menu, be through the A cars, receive messages, we get a load preliminary, like a predicted load sheet, and what's on there, and then just before we're about to push, and all the bags have been loaded, the passenger accounted for, all the numbers have been called into the operations center. We'll get a load final, and we'll print that, and we have all the numbers on there that we enter in the we would have to enter in the FMS manually, like the 0 fuel weights have been there. We'd set the trim, resend for a new takeoff report, all that kind of stuff. But it's a little different when you translate all that stuff into the sim. But we're looking pretty good. There's our top of climb coming up shortly. Got you, fam. Now go back to the EP and yeah. Sweet. Captain Jack still in the vertical stream says toga. Jack, do you like the vertical stream? A lot of people don't like the vertical stream, but if you like it, let me know. Everyone else is on the horizontal stream if you want to check it out, Jack, as well. Also, Mickey Mike and CSD Gaming are live right now as well. Go give them a shout. We have 6,256 subscribers on the channel currently. I really appreciate you guys all subscribing. All right, Lonnie, you got your wish. I'm in a 320. I don't really know what the difference is. This thing just flies itself anyways. Don't gotta worry about pretty much anything. Let's check out these circuit breakers out over here. It's pretty cool that all of this is modeled. I'm actually really impressed with that. I love when airplanes go into detail as much as they can. That animation needs a bit of work, but we don't really care about that here. Look at that. Even these work too. That's pretty cool. Even behind the seat. Oh, that's crazy. That's nuts if one of those fails. To check those, I'm sure the safety check's so annoying to get those in real life. Oh, look at that. We have a popped breaker forward galley feeder. Can I even pop that back in? No, I can't. All right, maybe that's just modeled that way. Same with that one. Now this is content. Yeah, look at all the views we're getting. It's not like that 60 per stream on the RJ stream. I'm just joking. Yeah, I mean, everyone flies the bus, right? I like to fly planes that know. I like them. They're cool. You know, they pay me to fly them. I'll fly them. But they're nice from time to time. You just kind of do nothing and just chill and, you know, talk to you guys and enjoy all the what's it called? All the surgical feeling of this, how this airplane flies. But I kind of like the more hands-on stuff. I like the CRJ. I like the I love the 727. I'll probably get the Avro RJ. That thing looked pretty cool. When the Q400 comes out, I'll fly that. I actually have documents for the Q4, so I can learn it through that. And I got a lot of buddies on it in real world. That's just me. Just prepping you ahead of time before you got to call up the big league. No, we'll be fine. We'll be fine. It's an Airbus. I've been flying Airbus in sims for 12 years anyways. They're all the same shit. I appreciate you, though. I don't think much of this will transfer over, other than switch positions and stuff. Probably the logic is pretty close to the FMC and all that. Would you just slide the jump seat to the side a little? Yeah, you would. I'm sure. It's just probably super annoying to have to do that every time to check for a safety check to check those. I don't even know how to. Uh-oh. There we go. And you can check it there like that. That looks easy in a sim. I'm telling you, once you're cramped in here, it's not that easy to move these things. Although the Airbus is at least a little nicer and bigger. You see they announced the Super 27? Yeah, they did. Again, to me, I'm not interested as it's, you know, modern. I don't really care. I like the older stuff. You know, I like the older stuff. It is cool, though, for those guys who won't fly the 727 because they can't, / they don't want to take it on VATSIM because they don't know how to use it properly. When they get the newer one, at least they'll be able to, it'll be easier for them to use LNAV and all that kind of stuff, I think. But I mean, even currently, you can use the FMS. There is one in there, just it's on, you have to use your gauges. You got room in the bus? Yeah, you do. Let's go check outside. Yeah, it's an Airbus. See if I feel like you would really like Starship or the Dukes by Black Square. The Starship look pretty cool. The graphics look pretty terrible, but I think that's probably because they're probably just brand new or something. That look pretty cool. The next thing I was gonna buy though is the A2A Aerostar, and I'm gonna buy that once my new yoke comes in. I'm just waiting on that Moza yoke to come in. I broke my current TCA yoke. It's a piece of you know what. So I have a Moza yoke coming in to replace that, and once I get that, we'll be doing some Aerostar and 172 ops and all that kind of stuff, and you know, regular RJ and 27 as well. Gotta go pick up dinner. Be back in an hour. If you're still alive. I should be. I think I should be. I gotta do more looking into the FMS, but the 727 is a blast. The 727 is awesome. It's probably my favorite airplane for this sim. Lonnie, are you on Discord right now? Are you doing? Are you using the RJ? Are you trying it out? We got 2,000. I keep saying that. We got 6,265 subscribers now. Appreciate all you guys tuning in and watching. Shaq on the vertical says, I feel I don't learn anything by flying Airbus, though I love black square airplanes because I learn a lot from them. Yeah, there's stuff to be learned, of course, if you've never done simulation stuff at all. If you're brand new to the sims, the Airbus is nice because it'll hold your hand in that case. But airliners are airliners. They kind of all work pretty much the same. The only really different airliners you have are the CRJ, the MD-11, MD-80 are a little different, but the MD-11 flies now. What happened with the power here? Oh, we're cruising on, all right. Sounds like a big change. But between the 37, the 320, triple, 350, they all are the same. They all have LNAV and VNAV. They all got autopilots that'll take you down right to a Cat 3C. They all take care of you. This 37 takes care of you a little less. But the triple takes care of you just as much as an Airbus will. But, people have fun with that. People enjoy that. People enjoy it. I'm not here to knock it. You guys do what you do. When I was younger, I did a lot of CRJ, or a lot of 777 stuff. Just because, big airplane, it's cool. I like the beige cockpit as well. But I've always been more into the more obscure airplanes that I wouldn't be able to fly real world stuff. You'll never get a chance to fly a Concorde. I want that. I'll never get a chance to fly a 727. I want to learn that one. It's cool type of old fun flying with VORs and INS and all that stuff. So, that's just me. Everybody has their preference, and that's why Flight Sim's such a big network now, because everybody can do different things and they can do whatever they want. Doing some Euro 737 ops right now. Might try the MD-11 next. RJ is great though. Need to try it on flights on a Flight Sim soon. Yeah, I think you'll enjoy it. There's still some bugs in the RJ, but the flight model is way better. Trusting modeling is not bad at all. Definitely better than the Fslabs. Actually, really good modeling. Of the graphics, okay. Of the Starship. Cool. I guess it just looks bad on stream. How's the sounds, guys? Is the game too loud or too low, or what's going on? I have another hour and a half until we're at our destination, so probably in about 40 minutes I'll start grabbing the ATIS and getting all that kind of stuff set up. The bus is all about management. The 737 you're still flying. Yeah, that's the thing. Those older airplanes like the RJ and the RJ's not old per se. The NG is actually quite new. It's just older mentality of flying, older philosophy. But those kind of older style airplanes, you're still managing a lot of stuff and you're flying at the same time. So I mean, you ask any airline pilot that flies a bus, 95% of them will say it's not fun flying. They'll take the job obviously because it's secure and it's it's chill and the pay is good and whatever. But the funnest flying that an airline guy will have is ripping the canyons in Navajo or something like that on northern medevac or that kind of stuff. Airline flying in real life is not fun. It's cool. The landings are always fun. Those are always cool. And the IFR stuff's always cool when you're down to mins and whatever. But just chilling up here, I mean, it gets boring pretty quickly, especially if the guy you're with you don't like. Not complaining. Just saying it's... because when I came from the sim world, I was a simmer for 5 or maybe I think 9 years before I started flying, and then about 10 years before I got to the airline world. So I had that whole manifestation in my head of airline flying and stuff, and I still love it. I'm not knocking it. I'm just saying though that everything does eventually kind of wear off, and people will post like, did you see that A321 with the Delta special liver? I'm like, maybe, I don't care. And I would have probably cared a long time ago, but it just kind of loses its thing. I guess when you start doing anything for work, it starts to lose your thing. You see a billion A320s a day. You see a billion A380s a day. You know what I mean? And it's not that we don't like aviation anymore. Still do. It's just you get a little bit desensitized to it. The other thing is when you're working in an airplane and you're, you know, life's on the line and people are expecting performance from you, you don't have time to start just geeking out. You have to focus on what you're supposed to be doing in your airplane as well, if that makes sense. Honestly, the nice thing about simming, getting to get a rough idea about ETA en route advance. The nice thing about simming is getting to get a rough idea. You mean like if you're about to go fly the route real life, you can try it in the sim, is what you mean? Could determine how many Netflix episodes to download over cruise. Yeah, exactly. I hear what you mean. My best friend has the same opinion that the bus is boring. She's on 330. The most exciting part of her is moving the stick half an inch to rotate. Her words, not mine. That's it. You can ask anyone. That's why the RJ, the Q400, the CRJ, the ATR, like that, those kind of airliner flying is a little bit more entertaining because they're not as automatic. Usually those type of airplanes are going into airports that have different approach procedures, like the LaGuardia Expressway Visual or whatever that one's called, Stadium Visual, I think, or no, that's Newark. I think it's Expressway Visual, RNFX 31, whatever it is. The ECA, Aspen, the RJ goes into, some mountainous stuff that the Qs go into, and I'm sure ATRs all over the world go into some weird airports. So usually when you got that type of an airplane, the flying is different. When you're on a bus or you're on a heavy or whatever, the flying is the same. You're just, you know, B1 rotate, autopilot on, you're on LNAV for the longest time, ILS or an LPV or whatever. Very rarely do you actually do something where you're doing a visual maneuvering approach in a plane that size. It's not meant for it. So it's still, you know, it's still cool. A 777 is an awesome airplane. It's an awesome marvel of engineering. I would like to fly one. But I don't know if I'd love sitting there for 17 hours, if you know what I mean. Yeah, one of my boys left the bus for the 37s at AA. He likes it way more. Yeah, the 37's pretty cool. The 37, again, it's pretty automatic, the 37 as well, if you think about it. It has all the same features. The autopilot does everything basically the same. Just no fly-by-wire. But the thing that the 37 has a problem with is there's no ICAS. So if something fails, you got to look up for a light. And hopefully that light, or that failure has associated light system to it. And then you can start looking up in the QRH and all that kind of thing. So airplanes with ICAS I do prefer. Like the RJ has an ICAS, this has an ECAM, same kind of thing. I think a cool airplane to fly would be the MD or the 7.5. That'd be a pretty cool little airplane to fly. The other thing with those long haulers, like if you're doing a long haul, especially as a junior FO or even, you know, mid-range FO, you don't fly the plane all that much. You maybe have, like, there's a lot of people that are on triples and all sorts of stuff, and they haven't landed in months, and they got to go to the sim to get recurrent on landings just so they can go on a trip to be the B team, right? So that kind of flying, it just doesn't seem like it's appealing. Unfortunately, that's where the money is in North America. If you want to make the big bucks, it's the triple or that kind of stuff, the bigger, heavier stuff. And the destinations are cool, I'm sure, for the first couple of years, but that'll wear off eventually. But I think what makes why I enjoy airline flying is for me personally, it was always my life goal to get to that point. So I'm grateful and proud to do that. The second point is the people you work with, depending who it is, can completely change the job. You can have a great day and you can have a bad day, depending on the people that are with you. And I still do enjoy the flying aspect of it when I get to do it. Manually, autopilot off to 28,000 feet on the departure, taking autopilot off from 10,000 feet, flying it all the way in, having fun at work. Stay within the limits, of course, but you're still having fun. And I'm happy that my airline allows me to do that. Do you recommend linear curves for the yoke on the CRJ? You shouldn't need any curves at all anymore. If you want anything, do like a -10 and a dead zone of 0.4. but you shouldn't need really anything except for the dead zone of 0.4 is nice. RNFX for the win. Yeah, that one's a pretty cool approach. Roanoke VA LDA is fun. I don't even know where that is. We've got a ton of pilots who flew the mainline who got we got a ton of pilots who flow to the mainline who go 757. Yeah, the 75 is a pretty sweet looking plane. It's a fast rocket ship, that thing. It's kind of it's basically a rocket ship 777. I've heard Airbus get more appealing the more sensitivity you have. Comfort is big. Yeah, exactly. Awesome, thanks for on the Boeing yoke. Cool. Yeah, about a -10. Got 20 of you guys in here. Really appreciate you guys stopping in and joining us today. We have 2,000. I keep saying that. We have 6,265 subscribers now. Really appreciate you guys all subbing to the channel and keeping the chat alive and keeping me not bored here. See, if I wasn't talking to you, I would just be sitting here. Hopefully the captain I'm with, we can talk together and chat about stuff. There's only so much you guys can really do after a 4-day pairing, unless you guys really get along. Like the captain I just had on my last 4-day pairing, I really got along with, and we were chilling the whole time and having a good time, but obviously staying professional, of course. But there's some captains that, you know, after 18,000 feet, the intercom switch goes off, and they're just in their own head. They're just chilling. They don't want to talk, and that's fine, you know. But without you guys talking in the sim, it'd be a bit of a boring flight here. This is a real world route, by the way, guys. I don't think it's with a Neo though. I think it's just a regular 321. Let's go ahead and set up some wing views here. Awesome, thanks for all right, one. Have you seen a bootleg Ecam in the pedestal? Only 7.3s with it. That's funny. I've never seen that. A bunch of switches for a checklist. I haven't seen that at all. Why can I not proceed past that point? All right. That's interesting. That's a pretty cool view, I think. Don't know why I can't go to this side of the airplane. How often do you get a captain that flips the switch? It depends on the airline. But I've only had a few. They're far between. Most people, you know, chit chat here and there, and you end up telling the same stories like over and over again to the people you just meet. But that's kind of how it goes. Ugh, 3x3 configuration. I'm sorry. J Aviation has it in his repaints. Oh, that's pretty cool. Yeah, I was actually looking to fly the 3.7 again in the sim, but unfortunately my yoke broke. So we're just waiting on my Moza force feedback yoke to come in, and then I'll be able to do yoke stuff again. I mean, I could fly the side stick if I wanted to, but that's kind of weird, I think. Those engines actually look pretty good, even though I'm running DLSS frame generation. There's not too many tearing that's coming out of that. I see right through those massive fans. Rear-rolled CRJ, pilot lands a CRJ with a side stick. Yeah, exactly. You come up with all the titles, eh? We'll do captain view for a bit. It's not functional though. Would be cool if PMG did it, but AA are the only ones with it. It's probably a pretty good idea. I mean, to not have an ICAST this stage in the game and you know, our modern time of flying is kind of an interesting choice that Boeing took on that one. But they really fished for that similar type rating, so. It says not functional. I read that one already. That Mosaic is going to be so fun. It looks sweet. Like when I tried it at the Expo, I tried the runner at the Expo. I tried the which was not hooked up to a sim. Actually, I tried a TBM one that was. I tried the Winwing yoke, but that was not hooked up to a sim, and it's early access and all that stuff. And I honestly have nowhere to put that because it's beautiful and it's awesome and it's cool, but I have nowhere to put that thing. It's huge. And I have nowhere. I'm in a condo, so I wouldn't be able to put that anywhere. And I'm in like a setup where I play Fortnite and I play Airbus, and I do different things, DCS and whatever. So to move that out of the way would take quite effort to do. But the Moza yoke with the right settings for the price and the quality of the feel on the yoke itself and the base it's connected to and the small profile or smaller profile of it in the sim, it felt really cool in the 172. When it's very in the 172 in real life at idle thrust, the engine runs really roughly, and the yoke is kind of shaking, and it did in the Mose as well. And as soon as you add a bit of power, the timing of the engine kind of smooths on out, and the yoke starts shaking. And you add a bit more power, and the elevators kind of get activated by the slipstream of the prop, and the yoke moves towards you. It just felt really cool. So I'm really looking forward to that yoke coming in. I have no idea when it's shipping, but I'm really looking forward to that one. Which Mose yoke did you buy, and how much? It was about 13 Canadian, and I bought the only yoke they sell. I think it was the AY210 or something like that. If you go to the Moses website, it's the only yoke they have. That you have to buy the base and the yoke grip separately, but you can add it as a bundle though. And then I also bought an additional the desk clamps, because you have to buy everything separately. So you can buy the base, you can buy the grip, or you can buy the desk clamps. You can buy them all, and I bought it all. Can we thank Southwest for making the Boeing do that? Yeah, let's all have a round of applause. Especially on the Max, they have they have the screen space. Oh, 100%. They could have did so much with those screens, but they didn't. So, and you guys, whoever's the channel members as well, be remembered you have all your new emojis and access to you. So whoever's a channel member can use those emojis. I'm gonna go see how CST and Mickey Mike are doing on their live streams. I'll be just muting, but I'll still be able to read. Real quick, Matt Python says, how many hours do you to get restricted ATP in Canada? Do you think it's smart to do Canadian flight school if it takes longer to do it in America? If your goal is to stay in America, just do your training in America. To get a restricted ATP, it depends. If you go to a college that offers the integrated ATPL program, you can write the ATPL at 250 hours, and now you have a restricted ATP. Doesn't mean anyone's going to hire you, but you have it written, and you have 5 years to unlock your license. Or if you get type rated on an airplane, it's unlimited time to unlock the ATPL. If you didn't go to a college that offers it to you in the college, it's you can write the ATPL exams at 750 hours, and you have 2 years to unlock the ATPL, and or if you get type rated, it's indefinite to unlock it. If you pass the time, you have to rewrite the exams. Yeah, Lonnie, just spam that. Anyone who has it, spam all of them. At least a door page. yeah, they don't even have a door page. I forgot about that. The 3.7 has all the door lights. It's kind of sad if you think about it. I like, again, the 737 in the 60s is really cool. I still love the 37, and in the sim I love the 737 because it's all the clicking and all the switches and all that kind of stuff. But in real world I would much rather have an ICAS or something like that. It's still cool though, don't get me wrong. I love that plane. I actually just flew in a max to get home the other day with my deadhead. Tons of power. But by the way, guys, if you don't know what it is, we are currently using the Winwing FMS. Oh. The Winwing FMS. This is the MCDU by Winwing. And we're also using the Winwing EFIS panels, FCU panel, and EFIS on the right side as well. And there's with a massive monitor setup that I got going on in chat up top. This is the PU Air Korea minimized overhead panel. And then below that is just a 3D printed custom 737 panel that my friend gave me. And then down here, we got the ProDesk Sim CRJ thrust levers, which have a climb detent, which actually works quite well for the Airbus, believe it or not. Kind of messed up my camera now. Get back to that in a second here. I just bought the A321 Neo. Does anyone know why I keep getting a corrupt exe file error message when installing? I had that once. I closed it. I verified where the what sim it was installing to, and then it just worked. Maybe try closing it running as admin. That's all I can really say. Other than that, I don't really know, to be honest with you. Do you have a radio stack? I don't. I actually want one of those. Oh, there's somebody in the bathroom. I usually don't mind it in the RJ because I just type my frequencies here and I'll throw them in there. Like, I guess this one we'd actually have to use here, so it'd probably be a nice idea. But I don't have one. From my memory, they used to be crazy expensive, way more than they were worth, in my opinion. Jack in the Vertical stream says, "Hey dude, I fixed my yoke and it's working perfectly now." Awesome, man. Well, that's cool, cool, cool. Mine's not going to work anymore. My TCI yoke is done for. It was probably done for when the new one came in anyways, but... I think Winwing has an Airbus one super cheap. Yeah, I'll probably end up getting one of those. We just became partnered with Winwing as well, so they might send one for me to review for you guys, and hopefully the tiller as well. The tiller will be very, very cool to see. I had a chance to check out the Winwing Cyber Taurus rudder and side stick, or F-18, F-16, whatever you want to call it, stick. That thing was awesome. The amount of force required to keep that thing in the air was amazing. It felt like a real plane to me. It felt actually harder than a real plane to me, but I've never obviously flown a Viper before. But the amount of force on that was awesome on the F-18 grip. I'm looking to buy a new yoke. What's good around 300-400? That's the problem, Masick, is there's not much good. If you want an airliner style, unfortunately, the only one you're left with is the Pendulum Boeing TCA yoke. And if you want more of a GA style, you can go for the Honeycomb or the Turtle Beach. The problem is all of those yokes have, like, in my opinion, have massive flaws. The Honeycomb Alpha, the pitch is insanely heavy, whereas the roll is insanely loose. Makes absolutely no sense to an airplane. I didn't buy it solely because of that. For, you know, it just doesn't make sense to me. Turtle Beach, never tried. It's probably cheap, but I'm not sure. The Boeing TCO build quality is terrible. The plastic is awful. It's very loosey-goosey, even with an extra spring in there. But the pendulum feel is pretty cool. It's just too loosey-goosey. And those are all within that price range. So to me, unfortunately, you're kind of like between the worst looking Ferrari at this point. I know I'm being quite negative and I don't glaze things, but when you're paying $400 for something, I expect pretty good build quality and stuff. If you can save up another $400, I would say go buy. I would go buy a force feedback yoke from one of those companies like Simionic, Moza, or Simflight Elite. If you can save up for another $400. But if you want one right now, airliner style, TCA, GA style, probably the Honeycomb. It's kind of all you got. Honeycomb has quality though. Had mine 5 years. Yeah, I've heard they are well, but I've heard the Honeycomb is well made. I just hate the loosey goose roll, like the insanely loose roll and the super stiff pitch. If the stiff pitch and the stiff roll was all the same, that'd be awesome. Even if the loose roll and loose pitch, that would kind of make sense ish. At least it's all linear feeling. But having one being super heavy and then roll being super light makes no sense physically to an airplane. But yeah, Honeycomb I have heard is built very well. I have a Honeycomb Bravo that my buddy who's on the Embraer gave me because he doesn't use it anymore, and it's pretty sturdy. You like that one, Fritz? Yeah. Like, which one should I get? I can only afford a 360 or whatever. Actually, a 360 is kind of cool, but anyways, that's my opinion. You don't take my opinion. You know, that just comes from my experience using them at shows. I own a TCI yoke. My buddy has an Alpha that I've tried many times. I've never tried the Turtle Beach, so I won't comment on that one, but it's probably, I would estimate, not the greatest thing in the world. But it kind of gets me mad that for that high of a price tag, they just sell kind of garbage to the flight sim community, in my opinion. Honeycomb's not garbage. It's just, I think they kind of misled. I think they just did a wrong with their pitch and roll feel. It's actually really well made, and even Lonnie says it there too. But the TCA, in my opinion, could be so much better for the price they charge. Yeah, I exactly know what you're talking about. You will get used to it though. I notice the heaviness anymore in pitch axis. Yeah, I mean, I'm used to like the real planes, so when I go to a yoke, I want that feeling. I'm used to planes already, so to get used to a sim yoke, for me personally, I wouldn't enjoy it. That's why it's just from my opinion. But you know what I recommend is if you can go to a store somewhere that sells these things and try them out, or a buddy's house. I would do that before you buy it. Prime Day is coming up though, guys, so if you guys want to buy anything on Amazon Prime, July 8th is Prime Day for everybody. Okay, yeah, I was figuring that would be the answer. My buddy has a leftover Honeycomb I could get from him. You think it's still worth $150? Yeah, that's a pretty good price. If everything works, it's a pretty good price, I think. Brunner and Moza with the right profiles are two of the best yokes. I hope so. I didn't buy. I want to have that Moza in my hands now. That thing looked pretty sweet. We're gonna change this to direct coupon here. Let's go ahead and get the ATIS for Charlotte. Click arrival ATIS, and we'll just go to receive messages. The heck is that? Shaytech makes an entry-level yoke pretty good at a price cheap plastic. Yeah, I mean, I would stay away from the Shaytech yoke, man. I had 3 of those things a long time ago. Again, if you're brand new to flight simulation, that's fine for you. But if you've had flight sim for a while and you want to treat yourself, I would say save some money and get yourself a force feedback yoke. From what I've tried at the Expo, those things are next levelly cool. That's just my opinion. But if you're brand new to flight sim, honestly, and you don't fly planes in real life, you have no experience, any yoke you choose is fine because you won't know the difference. And you won't have preconceived biases like I do. I feel that if you have never flown a real plane before, honeycomb and thrustmaster yoke would be fine, but once you start training, you kind of want more. Exactly. You can feel it in your instinct when you're flying a plane. You can feel it react through the yoke. You know, my wing's gonna lift right about now. Let me hold it down. You can feel it before it happens. In the flight sim world, just like in a driving game, you know, and even F1 racers have talked about this. Lewis Hamilton is famous for saying that he doesn't like simulators because he has to react on his eyes, visually seeing the car starting to lose grip, and then react to it. Whereas in real life, he feels it in his butt. The car's, you know, sliding out. It's the same thing, but all that feeling is through the yoke. For me, IFR wise, you're not supposed to feel where you're turning because that's a big no-no. So it's all through the yoke. And when I lose that feeling for a price tag that I think should have a bit better quality to it, that's where I get a little angry. Now, let's say the TCA and stuff didn't have force feedback, but they were like very high-grade plastic and had a nice tight feel to it. Then it'd be a different story. But for the price tag that the Boeing TCA yoke is at, the honeycombs I don't think they make anymore, and I think the honeycombs are actually pretty well priced. But for the price of the Boeing TCA yoke that they ask for and the quality you get from it, I think is outrageous and overpriced in my opinion. Yo, X4FS, welcome. How you doing, my friend? We're just having a bit of a friendly debate and talk about different yokes to buy in the 400 under price tag area. I don't want to throw hate or throw shade. If you own one of those yokes, by all means, if you love it, you love it. Still fly it. They're just not my thing. I've used a Boeing TCA yoke for over a year. And every time I use it, I'm kind of like, man, I wish this was better quality for the price I paid. TCA yoke feels pretty damn light to me. It is. You can move it with your pinky, and it just moves. What do we got here? We got 11 Gustin 17 from the east, 10 mile viz, Fuel Cloud 5000, Fuel 18, VFR day, altimeter 3005. Set that in our standby for later. Simultaneous approach and use, expect visual approach 3-6 right, 3-6 center, 3-6 left. All of them. All right. We're probably going to take 3-6 right. Thrustmaster has to turn it around real quick. All their products are trash. I'm happy Moses finally dipping into the flight sim world. Their race wheels are 1010. You've been saying the race wheels are good. I kind of want a cool race wheel, to be honest. I have a Logitech wheel, and again, the Logitech wheel is a good like little entry wheel. I'm not a racer in any means, so like that's good for me for what I do. But I'm sure if an F1 racer, you know, rally racer at Logitech wheel, he'd hate it. That's kind of what I'm trying to get at as well. But the Logitech wheel is good for me. But you've been saying those Mosey wheels are good. Do you have one of them? Because I'd love to come try it. Yeah, the flight sim still has some ways to go for hardware. I know the Expo announced a bunch of new hardware, but some nice yokes under 500 for those mid-range builds would be awesome. I think, I first of all, I agree with you, but I think, you know how Meridian is making those throttles? I think if Meridian or some company like, if Winwing can come out and make a mid-range average consumer yoke, they'd have the market. The Winwing yoke is not for the average consumer. It's gorgeous and it's beautiful, but it's not for the average consumer. The Moza yoke is kind of getting to that higher level consumer. more niche level of flight sim, and then the Brunner and all the other force feedback yokes are way in the niche and expensive. So for the average simmer, we only have the TCA, the Honeycomb Alpha, and the Turtle Beach. That's kind of it. What was the R5 direct drive? The bundle is like $6. Really good price for the DD wheel. Oh, sorry, I missed Captain Jack's comment on the vertical. He says, yeah, I really know what the problem was now. It was confusion in the profiles. Now I'm really happy with this again. Awesome. Cool, Jack. Hope you enjoy it. Get those landings done. Go try the CRJ Jack as well. I think you'll enjoy that. Had the Moza R3. Don't have it anymore, but I've tried the R5. It's really nice. Yeah, it looked pretty sweet. The first time, actually, Lonnie, the first time I ever held a Fantech wheel was at the FS Expo. They had some there. Those Fantech F1 wheels are so cool. Like, and I've said this before, the quality that sim racers get in their hardware is so far superior than the quality that we get in our hardware for the price we pay in flight sim. That Fantech wheel felt amazing. The paddle shifters were, it's just a nice clunky click when you clicked it. It was amazing. So I'm hoping Moza can bring, and some other companies can bring that very high level stuff for the prices that Fantech charges. Required to be on the wall operating on runways and all hold short instructions. Yeah, call sign info alpha. All right. So that's VFR. Winds out of the east. So we are right side headwind. By 11 gusts and 17. By the way, guys, this is not a high wind. I see a lot of people saying that's a lot of wind. It's not really that much wind. Once you get to the airline, guys, you'll be seeing much higher winds on average than this. That's a pretty typical day of wind. As soon as it starts to get like 29, 25 gusts and 35, 29 gusting 40, those are like high winds that you have to be concerned about. But I see people calling like 8 knots of crosswind a lot. It's like, that's not a lot of crosswind, especially for a CRJ. I don't know what the Airbus, but the CRJ can take 35 knots of crosswind, just direct crosswind at a 90. Anyways, that's all good. Let's go ahead and go flight plan, KCLT arrival, and we're going to select runway 36 right. We'll take it on the ILS, and let's see what chart we're going to use that for. Navigraph. Can't you tighten the spring on the Boeing TCA? I don't believe so. I know you can add another spring and you can do custom springs, but that's only for the pitch. So you can go all the tightness you want on the pitch. The roll will still be loose. Unless you're very good at customizing stuff, maybe you can do it. Most is all about quality and realistic feel. You're gonna have a blast with that Moza yoke. Yo, Lonnie and Simple and Arian, when you guys, when that yoke comes in, I want you guys to come over. We're gonna have a blast. You need a minimum 200 hours for a CPL, right? Now, practically, you'll need more like 250 by the time you finish the ATPL. You need minimum 200 hours for a CPL. I know practically you'll need more like 250 by the time you finish the ATPL. For a CPL, to unlock a CPL in Canada, yeah, you need 100 of PIC and 200 total time. And by the time you're done the program area, you'll have roughly 250. Let's do the approaches. Gonna be ILS 36. I don't like that they're just all listed here. I would like if they categorize them a bit. ILS Loc 36 right. It's 1089. It's going to tune it for us by itself because it's an Airbus. Final approach is 003. The glide path check at Hayu 2500. MDA of 927. We can go ahead and do that. Let's just see real quick where. Let's take it in from HECAM just in case. Oh, but there's no ATC. Okay, that's fine. We'll just take it via vectors then. That's fine. We're going to put coupon over coupon. We'll execute that. That all looks fine. Let's just check it on this guy. That should work out pretty good for us. Sweet. And let's go over here. We'll press, what is it, perf, next page, next phase, that one, next phase, descent, next phase. It's going to be 3005. We're going to put, oh, that was a barrel. That's not what I meant to do. Actually, it'd be 927 for the ILS MDA. I meant to put the QNH as 3005. There we go. So we're using barometric altimeter, guys, for MDA because we're not in a Cat 2 or Cat 3. If we're using a Cat 2 or Cat 3 approach, we'll use the radar altimeter, baro minimum, or radio minimums. But on a Cat 1 or less, or any other approach, basically, it's going to be baro minimums. And that MDA, that baro minimum, can be found on the chart right here under ILS. Right here, ILS. 927 MDA. Above ground will be 200 feet. Here's a trivia question for you guys. What does this mean? Loc GSO, and why is it a higher altitude? Why do you have to see the runway at a higher altitude with this one? Let me know. Trivia for you. Let's see. Full flap. The magnetic wind was 050/11. We don't account for gust because gust is fictional and or not fictional. It's predicted. Temperature was 27, I believe. Let's go back and check that actually very quickly. Atsu, AOC. Oh, that was the wrong one. Atsu, receive messages. Why am I blind right now? Oh, I forgot my arrow's not moving that one. It's moving this one. Oh, I guess 30? Why is scattered 25 part of that? All right, well, it's 30 degrees. Pretty close to the 27 there, and we're all good to go. Moza has an F1 wheel as well. Big money, though. Moza is very comparable to Fantech, similar in price. Okay, that's pretty sweet to know. I honestly, I can't wait for this yoke to come out. We're going to go direct to Argyle. Intercept that. Let's just start going a bit more towards my airport here. It's good, the beauties of being off Vatson. Most is all about quality and realistic feel. You're gonna have blast. Read that one. You need minimum. Read that one. Yeah, I'm down to check out the Moza yoke. Make it Sunday, so I'm off. Sure. Fritz says no glide slope. Question mark face. You are correct. It's a localizer only. The glide slope is unserviceable. So if you're using local only, you can't go as low as an ILS, a full ILS, which brings you 200 above ground, 927 above the above sea level. You have to go almost 400 feet above ground, almost double the altitude of a regular ILS, and you have to see the runway by this altitude, or you're going around. And as we'll be approaching from the northeast, and we're doing a right downwind, I'll vector myself into probably towards Lansar, about 11 mile final there. Intercept the ILS and runway 36 right. 1089 will be auto-tuned. Missed approach is runway heading right turn 4,000 feet outbound CLT VR to 093 radial. D move 24.9 and hold, or is directed by ATC. There is no ATC, so I'll probably just do a circuit, come back. Our MSA based on the Charlotte VOR is 3,800 feet. Next question, guys. MSA, how big is this circle? This is based off the Charlotte VOR. How far away from this VOR in this case am I safe at 3,000 feet from terrain and whatever obstacle? How far does that MSA circle extend to? 3-degree slope, Pappy's on the right, ALSF type 2 lighting. And we plan to exit on 36 right. Bring this guy up here. Most likely, if we can stop quick enough, left on Romeo. We'll take it maybe on Charlie. That's Charlie 9. Yeah, Romeo or Charlie 9 is a 90 if we want to do that. But should be Romeo should be okay for us unless we float too much. And the alternate is Piedmont Trad International. All right, because there's no ATC, I'm going to bug the lowest altitude on the star here, which is going to be looking like cat at 10,000. 10,210 knots at cat is what it wants, so it'll auto do that for us because it's an Airbus. I keep throwing shade. I'm sorry. And we'll leave that there. Flight Sim Gaming, you're correct. 25 nautical miles, unless it says otherwise. But 25 is the correct answer. And in this case, it's from the Charlotte VOR. In some other cases, especially on the RNAV approaches, it'll be based off the runway itself, the runway threshold, because it's GPS position. What you want to make sure, guys, is whenever you, in real life, whenever you have that MSA based off the VOR, you want to find where the VOR is. Sometimes it's not on the airport. In this case, it looks like it's just south of the runways here, and it's not too far away. But like if you go to Montreal, is a good example. The airport's here, the VOR is like over there. So just keep an eye on that, guys. In real life, that can get you. One, it can make you fail an exam or written or whatever, and two, it can actually get you, you know, injured in a way that we won't say online. But the weather's been clear all day. We'll throw the terrain map on. Where will it show otherwise in the circle? It'd usually be in here. There actually, you know what? There actually is an approach, and I forget where it is, but I'll have to find it again. But it'll actually say, it'll divide in quadrants, and then each quadrant of the chart will have its own altitude in each corner. Let me see if I can find it here on Navigraph. And let's go through the airports I've been to. What's Columbus? It's one of those weird airports I don't go to often. What is Columbus? CBS? MS? I kind of forget what Columbus airport code was. I don't think YYZ has one. I can check. I'm pretty sure it doesn't. I'm pretty sure all the ones in Toronto, like these aren't. This is still 25 miles. It's just a different quadrant. But there's some approaches that have a further range. Oh, let me. Sorry, I know you guys can't see what I'm talking about. Actually, well, I guess I can't search it here either. I'll show you what I'm talking about in a second, but I'll just pull it up on Navigraph real quick. You should trigger a failure. Might as well. We have a lab failure already and a laboratory fire fault. But I'm gonna keep things simple. If something wants to fail, it'll fail. But I ain't gonna make myself work harder if I don't have to. Ecam tells you what to do. Yeah, it's an Airbus. Do this. Do that. Do this. Yeah, Toronto has the quadrants of different altitudes, but there's some airports that actually have the quadrants of different altitudes, and they actually have different ranges that they affect it at as well. Let me see here. CMH. CMH. Columbus. Maybe it was one of these airports that had it. I can't remember. Nope, not that one. Is it Newark? I don't think I got it either. I forget the airport that had it, but I go to it sometimes. And it's actually based off of 30 miles instead of 25, and it'll tell you on the chart, but Rapid Ascent's coming on up shortly. I'm gonna tune in with that CST real quick. Guys, be sure to go give CST and Mickey Mike a subscribe and view as well. They're currently live. We also get another subscriber. Appreciate that. I'm just tuning in with Mickey Mike on his stream right now, so I'm just watching that as well while we're here. A little bit more to go, and then we'll start descending in. TJ says there's a JetBlue 321 I can send you that works in 24. Sure. I'm honestly probably not going to fly this plane all too much. Not because it's not good. It's just because it's not my kind of flying that I enjoy, the Airbus style. However, my yoke is broken, so for the time being, I will be in Airbuses. So you might as well send it. But I usually like to fly more of the RJ kind of stuff. When my yoke does come in, though, when my new one comes in, I will be flying the Kodiak. I will purchase the 828 Aerostar and be flying that. Of course, the CRJ and the 37 Max on the streams as well. Jack, yes, my yoke's good. So glad, back shortly, time for dinner. Okay, yeah, well, appreciate you coming back, and good thing your yoke works as well. That would have sucked to have to buy a new one. Did you say it's sent? Good delivery? Sweet. Cool, thanks, man. Oh, I thought we were, I thought we were already past the descent point, but we weren't. We'll change this back up. Wait for this dot to come back down towards us here. More Seer Jackson with Mickey Mike. Yeah, Mickey Mike is streaming the RJ right now. He is alive. Top of Descent's coming up here shortly. Data, you enjoying the Huey, my friend? Hope you're liking it a bit more. I think it'd be fun to get all of us in there doing Huey ops. Too much CRJ action, not enough ERJ action. I don't know about that one. ERJ is way too slow. At least in real life it is. I was astounded at how slow it was. Alright, the Path is coming alive here shortly. We're going to press the descent button at 500. 500. Descend. Manage speed, manage descend. I'm going to go to sleep. I want to try the Kiowa and the Chinook. The Chinook I don't own, but I will own it once more ground assets kind of get implemented in the game properly. But the Chinook does look really cool. E-jets are slow, very slow. In real life, JJ, they're very slow. The reason are they have the same engine as the CRJ, the CF34-8C5. But because they're, I guess the design of the airplane was the rudder was too small, the engines are derated quite a bit more than the CRJ's variant. Because if they lose one engine, they just don't have enough authority to counter it. So the ERJ 175 is crazy underpowered. Not crazy, but it's underpowered. They only climb out at like 250 knots in real life for efficiency and engine wear and tear and other factors in there as well. Whereas the RJ climbs at a minimum 280. We could do 320 knot climbs as well as usual too. So we're just blowing past an Embraer. It's not in Canada, Lonnie. That's just the airplane. It's not a rule. It's a manufacturer limitation. Yeah, the 195 is different. The 195 has the bigger engines and probably a different tail design on it. It's a completely different plane. We're talking about the 175. Oh, my apologies. Yeah, it's just the airplane. It's just not as good as a CRJ, you know, Lonnie. You know how it is. It's not as fast. It's okay. You know, you need your auto throttle and your auto this and your auto anti-ice and auto whatever. now it's my turn to say anything while you have to comment. Never been in a small one. Yeah, I've jump seated on an Embraer and I was chirping the captain the whole way. The captain was an ex-RJ guy, and he said other than the reason he switched to the Embraer is he's getting old and the RJ is a young man's game. It's basically what he said. It's just the Embraer, he comes in with his coffee, has some like room and some non-hitting headroom, and you know, presses a couple buttons and on his way. Probably worse than the 170, I'd imagine, Lonnie. I have no idea. 195 felt like a rocket. Yeah, I'm sure the 195 has a hell of a lot of power. And this is about the time you'd give a PA. I don't really know how they would do it in this airplane, but I would assume it would be PA. Maybe unclick that one. PA. Hold it. Function flight decks, first off speaking, we just started our initial descent into Charlotte. Temperature's 30 degrees. We'll have you on the ground in about 30 minutes at the gate in 35. Once again, on behalf of the Boston-based crew, thank you for flying American Airlines. Probably the same, virtually the same aircraft. Yeah, I'd imagine it's probably the same. There's actually a way to do a PA in this airplane. CST did it on his channel. I don't know how to do it. These are mics, so I would assume I had to put this as a mic push to talk. I know how to do it in the RJ, obviously, but I don't know how to do this one. So it's usually, I don't know this plane, but usually you go to the PA mode and then you push your push to talk and hold it and talk through it. But ba-la-ba-la-ba-ba. You've done that before, smooth operator. Smooth operator. A couple times. I've flown on a Porter 195 and the Austrian E195. In both flights, I noticed a bit of smoke and fume smell that made its way in the cabin, probably through the packs. Maybe it's it might be a coincidence, or it might just be the Embraer. I'm not sure. Some airplanes do that though. So jokes aside, that is actually the good thing about the CRJ as a comfort, as in if you thought of it as a business jet. The engines are up high, behind you. You don't hear them unless you're on startup. You don't really smell a lot of the stuff, and they're pretty quiet. It's a lot of air conditioning noise you hear on an RJ. Same probably with the MD-80s and all the other rear-mounted engine airplanes. Bottom up, you also have to make sure it's using the Windows default mic input. Oh. This is gonna crash my sim. Watch. I'm just being silly at this point. Windows default. There we go. But make sure the volume button us up and pulled. Well, pulled usually means you're not listening to it, at least in RJ land, but I'll pull it up. I don't know what you mean by bottom up, JJ. Man, I don't have to do anything. It's just doing it for me. 270 above 16 will make that just fine. Let me start my flight recorder. I guess I can do something, right? You got it? Button needs to be pulled up. All right. And I just hold that. Up, 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 up. Pulley only works from the captain's side. All right. Up, 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 up. Test, 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 test. Push the green light on the and talk. Then push green light on and talk. Yeah, I don't hear anything. One, two, three, four. Oh, I messed up the test there. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, the MCDU options. Next page, sounds. Sound devices, cockpit. I guess this one. Yeah, that's an output. Yeah, so then select default Windows mic. Oh, I think it was already set to that. Let me go over here. Sounds, sound devices, cockpit, default device, environments default. Everything is set to default. I love how the airplane's flying itself right now. I'm just screwing around. Like, it's doing everything for me. Let's go 3005 on the altimeter. I guess I can do something there. Turn our landing symbology on now as well. Why not? I don't know when they do that, but we'll do it now. Don't know why the airplane slowed that much down. should I manually bug 250? It knows it's to be 250. It's just not doing it. 250. There we go. I guess I can do something. Set that to what you use to talk with. By the way, it's only the captain's side that works. Yeah, I talk with a microphone, so I don't think it'll pick up the microphone. But it should be the default Windows one. Let me go check. Mic. Oh, it's not. There we go. Now it should be good to go. Let's go try it. It's pulled up. Folks on the flight deck, your first officer speaking. Just started our descent into Charlotte. Temperature 30 degrees. The time is approximately... I actually know what the time is. 7:43, maybe. Hopefully, I'm just guessing at this point. 30 degrees, having the ground in 30 minutes. Let's see if this thing works. Ah, it worked! That's pretty cool. Let's go back here. It worked. Sweet. That's how you know a product is quality right there. We can't hear it. Why can't you hear it? Let's do this. All right, I'll do it again for you guys. One more time. Folks from the flight decks, your first officer speaking. We've started our descent into Charlotte. Time is 7:43. Temperature 30 degrees. We're going to have you on the ground in 20 minutes at the gate in 25. Behalf on the American-based crew. That doesn't make sense. The Boston-based crew. Thank you for flying American Airlines. There we go. Hear it now? I don't know why this airplane's flying the edge of stalling right now. You can see it's been tuned for 108, 108.3. We're going to manually set 250 here. It's not wanting to do anything, so... Make sure the cabin output is set to the same. Yeah, everything is set to, I heard it on my end. Wait a minute. I found the reason. Alright, I'm gonna do it one more time. You guys should hear it. Stand by. Turn that one off. Desktop is on. Alright. Last time. I'm getting tired of saying this. I'm actually gonna mute my mic so you guys get it in the video only.
Folks from the flight decks, your first officer speaking. We started a descent into Charlotte, temperature 30 degrees, time of 7:40 p.m. I'll be on the ground in 20 minutes and the gate 25. We thank you for choosing American Airlines on behalf of the Boston-based crew, and we'll hope to see you next time.
It's loud? Sorry. Let me put that down a bit. I'll put it back to the game capture. There we go. I'll turn that off. You hear it now? Awesome. Perfect. Thanks, JJ. Appreciate that. 11,010. Slow already at 250. We'll go ahead and do this. Can go on. We can ding our belts a couple times there. Everything's looking pretty. I just gave one. Stop it. Mine's better. Nobody listens to stuff. Everyone really has their headphones in. It's a good tip, though. You rubbish. Okay, slowing 210, descending 9,000 feet, VS 1100. Should do 600 to be okay for that. This is where an RJ pilot comes in handy right here. Now that's realism. That sounds like pod. Now that's pod racing. All right, we're gonna select flap 1. Nope. I don't know why if I bug it to if I bug it for managed speed, it speeds up. It's going into 250s. I need 210. The restriction's right there, 210 9,000. We're just gonna RJ it. We'll make it work. Sam, hello, welcome. Thank you for joining in. We're just gonna be on final shortly. Runway 36 right into Charlotte. We'll go flap 2 just so I can lower my angle of attack a little bit here. I don't like riding with such a high pitch attitude there. Put you guys in the landing mode on the vertical stream there. '24 is working quite well for me though, guys. I'm thinking of the Phoenix 321 Neo. Will be better, honestly. I don't know, man. Sam, the Phoenix is not up to the level that the systems are in this Fslabs. A lot of people glaze Phoenix. Phoenix is awesome. They have great planes. But it's you got to be cautious with overhyping one single brand. I love that there's competition for the 320 series, and hopefully there'll be competition for 330s and something else. But this airplane definitely offers something to the market right now. It offers a much more in-depth system depth while bringing in Neo. We've never had an in-depth Neo before, so I think it's worth a shot. I can see waiting for Phoenix because you have the other ones. That's all your prerogative to do that, but I think if you got this airplane, unless you like all the sights and sounds, which a lot of people do, I don't personally care, but I'm more in the system side of stuff, I think you'll enjoy this plane. A little bit of dampening on the joystick and it flies pretty good too. That's my personal opinion. Phoenix might blow it out of the water, but I mean, every circuit breaker thing it works in this thing, and a lot more accurate systems. And the graphics, when you actually have them in front of you, aren't all that bad. Should be descending here, shouldn't they? Alright, we're gonna do 4,000 open descent. Hey C5, hey SNI Aviation, thank you for joining in. If Fslabs made a 330-900 Neo, I would probably consider it. Yeah, I kind of want, honestly, for the 330, I want like a clapped out 330. You know what I mean? Like I want like 5 MELs, APU and op. Like I just want a really old 330 in the sim. I think that'd be a lot more fun to me personally. Yeah, we're gonna go heading mode. Let's say green needles, but that's not a thing here. It's not peak realism if the plane isn't hanging on by a G-string. Yeah. Alright, we're gonna close up this flight plan here, direct whatever that says, the intercept of, can't see what it says, 003. We'll insert that. What he said. Meant to make that, I think, a radial out, actually. There we go. There's my FMS sequenced, I think, properly. No, that didn't work properly. Let's see. Clear. That.
Cabin crew seats for landing, please.
Alright, that's good enough. We're gonna press approach button. Lokestar. Cat 3 dual, although we're not going to use that. Glide slope arm. I'm going to start slowing down a little bit more here. Spoilers armed. Lab detection fault. We've talked about that. The MEL is fine. No need to activate approach, by the way, guys. As soon as you're on the ILS, it'll start to automatically activate the approach. Glide slope capture, gear down. Go flap 3. And our V approach speed will be 141 with VLS of 136. Excited to see more Jazz CRJ 900 ops. Yeah, man. I broke my yoke in last night's stream, so you won't be seeing RJ in a while until my Moza yoke comes in that I purchased. But I'll definitely be doing more RJ ops for sure. We'll go flap 4. I think. Or is it full? We're already at full. Never mind. Check. Right altimeter alive. Say we're cleared to land. We'll throw all these on. Oop. you guys are in the channel as well and you have access to the butter emojis, feel free to use them if we get one of those. I'm gonna go ahead and bug down to 141 approach. 2024 does look fantastic. Flight attendants, please be seated for landing. They would have did it a long time ago, but I kind of just forgot that that's an option for us to do. Let's see how well this thing flies on an ILS here. It's doing a bit of an interesting job, but looking okay. Autopilot disengaged. Gotta definitely adjust my roll as it's... Yeah, 1 second. Stand by, guys, I'm sorry. That roll is way too sensitive. No airplane flies like that. I think I already adjusted it, but I guess I didn't do it enough. Please load. Please load. Please load. Please load. Thank you. That takes way too long. Oh, I didn't... Wait, what? Oh, did it? It actually... Yeah, okay. It didn't save my thing. That's why. I'm gonna stop recording and start recording again. There we go. Alright, now we're gonna follow everything here. That feels better. That feels like an airplane. Does it look IRL? In Charlotte? Yeah, man. It looks pretty good. I still need some NVIDIA filters to kind of make everything a bit more crisp looking. But it looks pretty good. Obviously, what doesn't look IRL is all the lights disappearing in front of me right now, and appearing and all that kind of stuff. That's what I use, but minus 50? Yeah, me too. It feels a lot better like that. And we're gonna have a crosswind from the right-hand side, so we'll account for that. I believe in the 320 series, or all the Airbus series, you don't actually need to add in rudder. At least very minimal rudder. I'm probably gonna do it out of habit anyways, guys. Because that's on the plane I fly, that's what we do, but... We'll see how it goes. City lights in 24 look noticeably better than 2024. Oh yeah, 100%. For sure, I agree. The flight director does not agree with the raw data ILS a little bit. It's kind of, it's telling me to almost level off, or go 2 nose up. We're visual with the pappies anyways here. You don't till nose down? Okay, interesting. Yeah, that's completely different than my airplane. See how I'm staying on the flight directors, but they're guiding me low? That doesn't happen in real life. Flight directors are there to direct you onto the glide slope and the localizer if made properly, which it is as we had land in there. So I'll probably just visually do it, and I'm going to cancel flight director. Don't need those anymore. I'll just visually maneuver onto the pappies here. Landing. Whoa, stutters. Whoa, stutters. Whoa, stutters. Whoa, stutters. Okay, I see what Lonnie's talking about with the nose. I don't have reverse bound, guys, so we're just gonna roll it on brakes. Smoke, lavatory, detect fault. Yeah, we know. Auto brake off. Nose pitch on approach is off, noted by Fslabs. Yeah. Well, I was getting some stutters there. Might have been that too, but exit to the left. I probably should bind my reverse thrust. This airplane doesn't want to move with nose or steering anymore. There we go. I kind of don't like that it's not ready to go for. Whoa! Okay. Should click that button when you're straight. You're not already have rudder pressure in. Yeah, it's wonky. Yeah, it still feels pretty good. I'm gonna do some more landings with you guys here with FS Flight Control. But yeah, I did some landings, Lonnie, without a full flight, and the nose acted fine. But right there, I had no... You know what it is, Lonnie? It's the auto brakes. I'm 100% sure it's the auto brakes, Lonnie, and I want to prove it to you right now. That's an auto brake problem, and that's why the nose is falling down so hard. Because I did landings without auto brake and with spoilers armed, and it was fine. All right, let's stop that recording. We have that one saved. Let's just do a couple more without auto brake and see if the nose falls really hard on us. 3-6 right. That's my theory, though. It's gonna honk at me a bunch of times. Oh, okay, well, you shouldn't have spawned me at freaking 0 knots. It should be spawning me at 130. That didn't look good. 1 second. Yeah. Alright, now we're frozen. Stop freezing! FS Flight Control. There we go. That's actually quite annoying. Alright, maybe we're not going to use FS Flight Control. Million warnings. Alright, we're getting a couple of them away here. Now let's see if I could just spawn on final again and have it just work. I'm not stalling. Alright, now I'm stalling almost. Okay, disregard the stall. Good thing to know that Fslabs are already doing an update for these. Cool. I got it. We're not stalled. This is so annoying. Okay, this is auto brakes off, ground spoilers armed, okay? Auto brakes off, ground spoilers armed. I suspect the nose won't drop like a rock this time. I think the auto brakes is what does it. That's my prediction. There's another airplane that had that problem as well. Yeah, we're clearly stalled, right? Man, I always get these stutters. Okay, no, it still did it. Never mind. Alright, well that's lagging crazy. Let's just play replay and watch this thing. Alright, let's just stop there. You go over here. Really? We gotta listen to this during a replay as well? Alright, well I'm gonna give you guys one replay because I can barely stand listening to this. Oh, it went away. Your new ringtone? iFly had the same. That's what it was. Yes. Yeah, it was the iFly. Yeah. Let's go ahead and do this. I'll give you some replays. Oh, thank God. Wait, I'm too far away. It's so weird to me that you don't correct with spoiler. Like, that's so strange to me that you're not even flying the plane anymore. You're just letting it fly you at this point. A little bit of a floaty. All right, let's try something. I'm gonna back up over here. All right, it's still going off. But we're gonna try this time with no spoilers and no auto brakes. All right, guys. This is kind of, let's just recover from that really quickly. I got it, buddy. No auto brake, no spoiler. Okay, so no auto brake, no spoiler works just fine. Now we're gonna try no spoiler, but auto brake. Replay, pause. I'm sorry you gotta hear this friggin' warning every time. I'm really sorry about that. Auto brakes medium. All manual thrust, everything's manual. Auto brakes do bring it down a bit harder, but definitely not as hard as the as that spoiler did. So I think we found the culprit there, and I think Lonnie mentioned that earlier before anyways. But anyways, guys, I hope you liked the stream. We're gonna be flying the Airbuses a lot more because please stop. Alright, I can't listen to that anymore. I'm just gonna pause this. I can't listen to that anymore. Depth the spoilers? Yeah, it's the spoilers, yeah. Anyways, we're gonna stop that there because I cannot bother to listen to that anymore. Anyways, yeah, pretty cool. I like the Fslabs. The system's really cool. I love that it has the MEL and all the circuit breakers built into that, and having the MEL accessible is really cool. I like the ability to actually go through Navigraph and make a new flight plan right on the EFB. I don't like the GSX integration. The flight model needs a bit of updating, but I'm sure it'll get it. And all that, the spoiler stuff you saw earlier and all that kind of thing. But I'm liking it. I love that the Winwing stuff just integrates perfectly with it, just like the Phoenix does. And it works in 24 just fine, really, for me. The performance is not the greatest. It's not the worst. It's kind of comparable to, a little bit worse than the 727 for me. But I have been having worse performance lately, and I'm having all those stutters on landing, and I think that's GSX. So I'm about to uninstall GSX again because I hate those things. But anyways, you wonder why... Lonnie, what do you wonder? What about? But anyways, we're going to close it up there, and I'll give you this panoramic shot of Charlotte. And, oh, while we're flying the Airbus, oh, I probably clued on. Yeah, I broke my yoke, so I'm not going to be flying any yoke airplanes for the time being. But, yeah. Anyways, I appreciate you guys stopping by, and all the subs, the new subs in the channel, whoever became members as well. Appreciate you guys, and we'll see you in the next stream. See ya! And go check out CST and Mickey Mike video or streams currently happening now.